Okay, folks, let's go back to the beginning of the beginning, which is the age of the Earth compared to the age of the universe. Earth is 4.3 billion, the universe 13 billion years old. We're newbies. And given the progress, if you want to call it that, of humans in the last 100 years, from barely able to fly with wooden and cloth planes to possible interstellar travel by the so-called breakaway civilization that's been pumping information out of the extraterrestrials, we've got some splaining to do. Now, where did all this come from? Where did we come from? Given the relative age of Earth, it seems certain that being a NASA estimate of a billion Earth-like planets in this galaxy, that we've been infiltrated long ago by various extraterrestrial species. In fact, humans may be little more than an experiment. I can't say that I truly believe this or disbelieve it. I like Jim Marrs and his book Occulted History or Alien Agenda. Here's a guy that is probably one of the last of the reporters trying to track down witnesses that will actually be consistent with others. And his point of view is we're stuck in the middle of extraterrestrials. We're just waiting for the shoe to drop. And it may be coming. The Pope and Obama are meeting at the United Nations September 23rd. John Podesta, advisor to Hillary and Obama, has been urging the recognition of extraterrestrials and UFOs. So this kind of leads us into a dilemma. Let's dig out the oldest document most people are aware of on the history of mankind. It's the Bible. Genesis. I just read Genesis. I always knew about what it was about, but I actually read it. And right there, chapter 1, you've got another species talking to mankind. It's the snake. He's not presented as a snake until he's condemned for getting Eve to bite the apple of knowledge. It's just a reptilian standing there. Excuse me, chapter 1. Now, this is a little alarming because where did that critter come from? In 7 days, God created the earth and everything in it. Was that reptile in that box of creation? Really ambiguous. So let me roll back to what I'm trying to say all along. The Bible is an intellectual snare, a trap. And here's how it works. If you look at the Bible, it's the Torah for the Jews, and throw on top of that the Babylonian Talmud, and then put underneath that the Kabbalah. You have a tremendous puzzle. You want to find up, down, right, wrong, left, right, and you would think, thou shalt not kill is a pretty good one. Moses. But you look at chapter 17, verse 3, and then you look at chapter 7, verse 9, and then you look at Isaiah 2, whatever. You can find exceptions and qualifications to every absolute ever presented. You now have a job for full-time scholars, rabbis, Talmudic scholars. And I hate to sound just cynical here, but I suspect there'll be a good reason to eat pork on Sunday while dancing a jig that you're being paid for and cursing God while you're waiting for the red heifer. I know that sounds a little complicated, but I'll bet a good Talmudic scholar can crank out a reason, especially if you're doing it to save Israel. It's right there. You just have to find the right chapters and verses. So, this is what makes September 23rd so interesting. Disclosure. Lots of people have established, accidentally, on purpose, communication with apparent extraterrestrial groups. Every time a government gets a hold of a crashed, voluntary, seeking a treaty, they put a huge lid on it. And the reason is pretty straightforward. Every ET that ever shows up is flying something that they can't figure out and defeat. I mean, it's just too much opposition of craft seem to be selling from 0 to 4,000 miles an hour and then taking a land over. There's nothing we know that can do that. We've been told. Now we're stuck with superior alien technology and let something else in there. Almost all the contact occur between humans and these groups don't usually involve speech. It's television. Somehow, concepts, ideas, communication occur with words. Really interesting in Bombay grade school. Visual saucer craft with two small ET's job talk to the kids. 20. For some reason the teacher all and coffee were side with emphasis. The kids read creation. And as kids they're not they can't communicate with words. But they were interviewed after they'd grown up 15 years later, same story. Same bunch of kids, only grown up. This is a hard one. This is a hard one to just write off. So, communication without words. There's something about thought that, is it a circuit pattern? Is it a pattern of electrons? Is it a neural pattern? So, if you think chair, don't say a word, just think chair. And somebody sitting nearby, don't say a word, and perceives you thought a chair, looks at you, looks at your chair. Oh my goodness, why? And then you explain, oh, this chair is too hard. No. And, oh yeah, okay. Nobody says a word. That is typical of encounters. Now usually the communication isn't functional. It's You're not supposed to remember this. You don't know this. So there's a lot of intimidation and control that's communicated. There's an incident in the Roswell area, captured alien spacecraft. They've got 3 or 4 of them in a room. And military guys go in, sit down, try to talk to these guys, and find their minds are being taken over. Some wise guy up the chain, general, gives the orders, kill them all right now. And did. So there's a little interaction between humans and aliens that I think got the alien attention. There's some really famous incidents. Make of them what you wish. Bill Snyder, Dulce, New Mexico. Look it up. That's a hair-raising story right there. Obviously, everything that ever happens with respect to aliens gets a layer of this information on it. So it's really, truly hard to come to conclusions. Official sources say it didn't happen. This guy's crazy. He's a conspiracy theorist. Don't pay any attention. Oh, it was all a stage set. Oh, no, something's going on. Anyway, that's my thoughts for right now. Let me review quickly. 5 or 6 kinds of ETs. The normal, most frequently cited, small grays. You know, everybody knows what they look like. Gray, big eyes, skinny, flying around in saucers. When they get out, they're very cautious. Now, they may be running sampling projects. They capture humans, take them inside the saucer, snip, snip, probe, probe, kick them out. Then, there are larger grays. These are human sized or larger. They seem to be the thinkers and the controllers. Maybe they're the ones that manage the small grays. Don't know. Here's another one. Truly scary for people that are unprepared. Reptilians, draconians. Big, strong. Look like snakes. Scale. In reports I read, I think this might have been Area 51, unprepared military men walk down the hall, meet a draconian, faint, piss in their pants, terrified. Again, these are just reports I read. Who knows whether they're true or not. Here's one that has multiple observers. 5 families, Christians, Colorado, having a nice outdoor picnic. They go for a hike. Come across a ridge, they see 20, 30 people kind of slumping around in a circle. Wearing hoods. There's somebody in the middle. Very curious. Suddenly they see a reptilian appear in the middle. Points up the hill at where these 5 families are standing. And they're looking just amazed at this group. I wish I remembered the town, so you could go look it up too. But they're like astounded. They turn around and there this creature, this reptilian, is in front of them, threatening them all. Kids are screaming. Moms and dads are all like, oh, I can't believe it. The reptilian makes some very direct threats against life. Terrifies everybody and then runs away. Or disappears. They couldn't figure out how it could move that fast. Now, the important thing about this story is that there were 15 people observed it. Had a little trouble saying that this is just crazy conspirators. Either all having a mass hallucination, or they actually saw something, or they really got together and cooked up a story. But why? Anyway, so raised reptilians. The reptilians are possibly behind the throne. And David Icke, love or hate him, has been saying this for a long time. He introduced the idea of the tendency of the royals in England to abuse little children. Jimmy Savile, there's Passion. Janet is a name that's being prosecuted right now. He's alive. He's claiming dementia and he forgot everything. But Heath, not dead. And Savile was like a pedophile curator of those. I mean, that's really cool. He's got some metal. And there he is, with arm around the prince. Some royal shit. There's no that he was a pedophile. The opportunity, both sexes, even had, like Sandusky in Pennsylvania, a little or often, which is a Christmas surprise upon him. So, you've got Tyrion and pedophiles and child sacrifice. Wow, I want to read it. Now, that's a 1, 2, 4. Or Nordics. I'm not sure that there's like 2 different names. False and Nordics. People, ETs, look like human. They have a characteristic of getting very old, not human. They have all education characteristics. There's a gap woman and everyone is a butler. Where they got some care. Why the who always provide first needed in